Welcome to Inner Peace with Dr. Reese, a program that can help you become liberated in the modern world. Now, here's your host, Dr. Kevin W. Reese.
So, do you choose peace or pain? Welcome to episode number 130. It's our time to have a one-on-one talk, as I do every 5 episodes of this podcast. And today, it's about making the choice. We all have the choice, peace or pain. That pain could be physical, that pain could be mental. But whenever it happens, you have the choice. Do I want peace? Our bodies are designed a certain way. They are divinely, intelligently designed to heal. And we know that if we get a cut. If we break a bone, the medic sets the bone back together, and it just heals. Is it magic? It's how we're divinely designed. And so if that's the case for bones and skin, that's also the case for your organs, your blood, your stomach, your lungs, your eyesight, everything. Everything heals. Everything regenerates. But we have to give the body the raw materials that it needs. And or put the body in position that it needs to be in so it can heal. I'm proud to say that I have, after 3 years of taking time off, I'm coming back out into the clientele business. This time I'm doing it different. I'm opening a clinic. And with the times being how they are, I'm making it a virtual clinic for now. And it is called the Peace Over Pain Clinic, because I want my clients to know that it's a choice. And if you're a client here at this clinic with me, then you're choosing peace. What I've discovered is that there's 3, what I call macro categories of well-being, and that's nutrition, attitude, and posture. Nutrition is the chemical side, right? That's, you'd be surprised to know that you can get up to 1,000 symptoms just from nutritional deficiencies. There's 90 essential nutrients. Someone could be in pain or could even die from being nutrient deficient in 1 of the 90, 2 of the 90, 10 of the 90. Attitude is something we've talked about on this podcast over and over. It's about having inner peace, about understanding that your attitude plays a major factor in your existence. Knowing that your body can heal. Having the faith that your body can heal. Being able to deal with people that annoy you. Being able to deal with anything in life that comes your way through acceptance. These are very important factors. Because you can manifest problems in your body through improper attitude. And then there's posture. That's the musculoskeletal system. Muscles move bones. So if your right shoulder is higher than your left shoulder, which is at some point going to bring neck and or upper back pain, well, how did the right shoulder get higher than the left? This is muscle dysfunction. How about the spine? How about scoliosis? How about thoracic flexion? Where does it come from? The muscles are pulling on the spine. And so I know how to find the muscles that are dysfunctional, get them back in order, and then the skeletal system, the skeleton goes back into alignment. And this is the cause of most back pain, knee pain, neck pain, shoulder pain, ankle pain, foot pain. How about something like plantar fasciitis? I know about that one. I had it for a year. Bunions. I mean, you name it. They're just symptoms of muscle dysfunction, which we just call posture. So what I'm saying is, if you're in pain, you're in physical pain, unless you got into a car accident or you fell down, it's coming from one of the three macro categories: nutrition, attitude, or posture. Nutrition, attitude, or posture. And that's what this clinic is focused on. When you come to me, when you come to this clinic, we're going to zoom out, treat the body as a unit, and say, okay, your symptoms are coming from one of the three, two of the three, or three of the three. And that's what's going to make us different. This wasn't really planned to do a clinic. This all just happened. I took 3 years off from taking clients, and I went through my own troubles, as you know, if you're a listener to this podcast. I had to learn posture. I had to learn the musculoskeletal system because I had issues. And I had to change my attitude. And I did that mostly through Ho'oponopono, which I now have a course, which is part of the clinic. You can take a course on higher nutrition, or you can take a course on instructions to inner peace, which is a new practice I created of Ho'oponopono. I just organized it in such a way that it becomes a practical thing. You can go on www.peaceoverpain.com right now and get those courses. My idea is just to help people get out of their pain. And if they're in mental pain, they're going to want to take this Instructions to Inner Peace course, because, you know, Gautama the Buddha talked about the two arrows. It's like you get hit with one arrow and it's like, ow, you're suffering in pain, ow, ow. But then the second arrow is imaginary because now you're worried about the arrow, the first arrow. And that causes a mental suffering. And so even when we're in physical pain, we can meet that with indifference so that we don't mentally suffer. You might as well not mentally suffer, right? Wouldn't that make sense? So I want to teach people. I want to help people get out of their pain. Because it is possible. Back pain, knee pain, neck pain, shoulder pain, sciatica, migraines, type 2 diabetes. I just had a client get over his type 2 diabetes in under a month. Lung issues, stomach issues, fertility issues, brain issues, bunions, plantar fasciitis, arthritis, autoimmune, you name it. It can all be healed through my new therapeutic approach with the 3 macro categories: nutrition, posture, and attitude. I don't want people to go through what I went through. I don't want people to bounce from practitioner to practitioner, right? Doctor to specialist. osteopath to chiropractor, masseuse to Reiki master, acupuncturist to herbalist. It's like boom, boom, boom. You're just bouncing back and forth because you're looking for answers. You're looking for answers. But they don't really have the answers. It's all micro. There's nobody zooming out and doing macro. And that's what I want to bring to the table, is to zoom out and say, all right, buddy, you've had this pain, you're suffering. It's from one of these three. We can address one, or we can throw the kitchen sink at it and address all three. It's your choice. And that's what I want to do. I want to be of service to you or to anyone, your family, get them out of pain. And we can do this virtually over the internet. There's no reason for you to walk into my office. Everything can be done through the World Wide Web. You can take your blood pressure at home. You can weigh yourself at home. Everything else can be done online. I can do a hair analysis test, blood test, neurotransmitter tests. All these tests can be done virtually. You just go to your, a hair test you just send in. And if you need a blood test, you can just go to, your local laboratory. Because medical physicians, they are handcuffed by the insurance companies. And I've had doctors actually tell me this. We can't. We can only run so many tests because the insurance companies get mad at us. So there's a hierarchy. There's a monopoly going on. It's a pain management system. The Peace Over Pain Clinic will not be a pain management system. It will be a pain relieving, aka a pain remedy system. Right? So, the monopoly has really got you by the tail. I've told the story of my dad a million times because he's healthier at 75 than he is at 74 from everything that I've been, the program that I've been implementing on him. And, it's the same thing with his doctors because he's got a million doctors. And I keep telling him, stop going. So I know that might sound irresponsible to some people, but they're not doing anything. They're managing his symptoms, and they're just scaring him. Oh, yeah, you'll be on dialysis in a year. No. If he does the right things, he won't be. And they have no solutions. Just a bunch of medicine. They're trying to manage his numbers and this, that, and the other. One doctor, my mom, who always goes with him, she said, well, what about meditation? Wouldn't meditation help him relax? The doctor said, I can't say. There's no scientific evidence, blah, blah, blah. It's ridiculous. Meditation has been used for centuries. The physician can't say because they're handcuffed. It's against the law. They can only talk about and do what the American Medical Association and the insurance companies allow them to do. That simple. They are governed. It is a monopoly. One time, my dad's lung doctor, because I had him on some herbal tea, he said, well, here in the office, I can't say. But if we were out in the parking lot, I would say keep doing what you're doing. Oh, man. It's really bad. And it'll change at some point. I don't know if it's going to change in the next 5 years, but it might change in our lifetime. You know, one of my teachers, Dr. Peter Glidden, he tells this story about, he had this patient, because he's a naturopath. He had this patient come in, little girl, like 10 years old. She was in tremendous pain. And he had a long week, long day. It was a Friday, and he told them, he's like, can you please come in Monday, and then we'll take care of it. But the mother was like, please, she's in so much pain. Is there anything you can prescribe for the weekend? So he goes into his bag of tricks, because as naturopaths, we have access to tons of supplements. I mean, I have, that's another thing. I have like the world's biggest dispensary. I have access to every supplement you can think of, every homeopathic remedy you can think of with this clinic. And so doesn't Dr. Glidden. He ran through his list and he said, let's try this. So he gave her a homeopathic remedy, like $15 or something. They come back on Monday talking about it's a miracle, the pain is gone. Now, keep in mind, this 10-year-old kid, has been going back and forth to a children's hospital every 3 or 4 months to get checked on, because she's in that much pain. She needs that much support. And now the pain's gone from a homeopathic supplement. So Dr. Glidden was like, oh, all right, he's, is it the homeopathic remedy or is it placebo? But the pain never came back because they kept taking the remedy. So he's like, oh, it's got to be the remedy, right? So anyway, they go in to the children's hospital for her once a quarter checkup. They sit down with 12 doctors in a conference room. And the mom explains what happened and that the child doesn't have pain anymore. And they were all like, oh, wow. When the meeting was over, 11 doctors walked out. Only one doctor out of 12 stayed behind and asked more questions. And even he, after he got the answers, walked out. And this homeopathic remedy was not spread to any other doctors for all these poor kids that are suffering with what this little girl was suffering from, because it had a name. Think about that. What this story, the moral of the story is, when a cure actually happens, they don't care because they're not allowed to care. I've witnessed this. I had clients over the last 10 years. I've had clients overcome their asthma, overcome their irritable bowel syndrome, overcome their migraines, overcome their sciatica, and they go into the doctor, and we used to call it shock the doc. They'd go into the doctor, and all the doctor could do is say, all right, well, yeah, keep doing what you're doing. They don't take any notes. They don't write it down. They're not scientists. They're not taking the information and passing it on and saying, hey, let me call my doctor buddies. Hey, all your migraine patients could be cured with A, B, C, and D. It doesn't happen. And one of my other teachers, Dr. Bernie Siegel, who was on this podcast, he talks about that too. Back in the day when he was a surgeon for cancer patients, every time someone overcame cancer, he was never allowed to write it down. They don't write it in any journal. It's omitted. This is ridiculous. So my thing is, unless you need emergency or urgent care, you don't need a physician. Or if there's something wrong and you just want it diagnosed, okay, go run the test, go through it. You know, I got a client who was having stomach issues, and she wanted to go get a SIBO test, SIBO, which is intestinal bacteria in the gut. And so I can't run those tests. They got those tests. So she wanted to do it. Okay. But just because you get diagnosed by the medical establishment doesn't mean that you need to follow through with their so-called treatments. Because I guarantee you a naturopath or a nutritionist, and certainly the Peace Over Pain Clinic, has a better treatment, a better therapeutic approach than your physician. I would also like to add that infections, some infections, you know, you want a medical professional to intervene. They got the penicillin. They got the good stuff, you know, and infections. If you listen to the episode I did with Ryan Alexander called Fake Diseases, by law, the only quote unquote disease that they can say is cured is infections. That's it. If I help you get rid of your type 2 diabetes and you go back into your doctor and say, I don't have it, and the tests clearly state that you don't have it anymore, they can't write it down. You don't have it. You're still a diabetic according to the medical association. Only infections can be cured. Isn't that interesting? And so we're living in a monopoly. It's frightening in a way, but you have to be smart enough to know your options. If you need immediate, urgent care, or you have a potential infection, go to the medical establishment. But if you have something chronic, symptoms that are nagging, whether it's back pain or migraines, whatever, you want to come to the Peace Over Pain Clinic. Because we're going to take care of you. No drugs necessary. The goal is to help people live pain and drug free. Get your nutrition in order. Get your posture in order. And get your attitude in order. Thank you for listening. I'll talk to you on the next episode.
Thanks for listening to Inner Peace with Dr. Reese. If this episode opened your heart, feel free to share on social media and tell your loved ones. Also, be sure to subscribe so you never miss an episode. Until next time, may peace be with you.